88.3 WXUT. We're only everybody can listen to it. Yeah.
Toledo's only alternative.
I love it when they smash their walkers at the end of a song.
WXUT Toledo.
It's not quite alive, it's not quite there, it's dead air.
All right, hey, listeners of Dead Air, I have Steve with OnceOver in the studio with me. They just rocked Frankie's Downtown. They were backed up with killer performances by the mighty, mighty Six-Time Zone and the ever-formidable Echo of Silence. Steve, introduce yourself to the audience.
What's up, guys? How you doing? It's Steve.
Steve, how long has OnceOver been together, and is it still the original lineup?
Well, OnceOver has been together since about June of 2001, but we didn't really finalize our lineup till about let's say, I think it was March of last year, so about a year ago. The entire real lineup has been solid for about a year now. So,
when did OnceOver start and why?
OnceOver formed because we were actually a different band before we started. We were called Half Empty, and the entire lineup was different. Actually, the vocalist now of the band OnceOver was playing bass, Dave. I was actually singing, and I play drums now. My brother, who's the guitarist of OnceOver right now, was playing drums for that band. And Nick, the bass player of OnceOver, was playing guitar for Half Empty. So, like, there was this huge lineup, and we weren't really, like, on our real instruments, and we disbanded after about 4 shows. We were just trying to have fun, and we weren't really going to play in any bands anymore. And after we realized that, you know, we were really good friends and we still like playing music, we decided to do it the right way, and we reformed as OnceOver. So that's how it worked.
So, man, how long did it take to realize that this project had some potential and was, you know, going somewhere?
Well, I'd like to say that we always had a good outlook. We were always trying to be positive, but I don't know, like we were always positive, but you know, we didn't really realize it had potential until about actually a year ago when we released our CD. We didn't understand how much of an impact we actually had. People really, really dug it, and ever since then, it's been, you know, nothing but good things for us. So, I'd say, even after a month after we really started practicing together, we knew we had something, but I don't know. We really felt it after our first CD was released.
Where do you guys have the most fun, the studio or the stage?
The stage, by far. We love the studio. It allows us to be creative and experiment, but there's nothing like having hundreds of people screaming the words back at you. I mean, it's a great feeling, and I'd like to say and go on record that we have some of the best fans I think any band has ever had, so we love the stage.
That leads right into the next question. How would you describe your fan base? I've noticed myself that it's pretty broad in terms of types of people and who comes to shows.
Well, that's the really cool thing. I mean, we have an extremely large female fan base, which is weird. I mean, it's pretty much 50-50 guys and women, but the cool thing is people who listen to all sorts of music, jazz, you know, orchestral stuff, all the way to people who listen to death metal can like us, because I think our music, there's something for everybody, and it's just such a broad style that, you know, one song we're screaming our heads off, and one song we're, you know, trying to play really beautifully, and it's really attracted all sorts of different kind of people and different age groups. I mean, I've seen, you know, 50-year-olds, and I see 8-year-olds. I mean, it's really cool.
So what started your obsessions with dragons and dragon hunting? And how did you gain your title of Level 8 Dragon Slayer?
Okay, the thing with dragons is one time we were practicing about 4 months ago, and our bass player always buys like dragon stuff. Like he had like this stupid little model dragon, and we were making fun of him because we love him and we always make fun of him. And he also had a dragon cell phone cover, and it started ringing, and I just said dragons out of nowhere, and we all just started cracking up. So I decided, you know, I'm gonna pursue my dragon stuff. So I made a stupid phony website. I think it's www.geocities.com /scarydragons/dragons. And it's pretty stupid, but I was just trying to have fun with some free time. So that's how that all worked out.
Okay, now we're going to play the tracks Losing Faith and the new single Long for Summer, both available for free at www.onceover.cc.
Yeah.
If you like the music these guys play, drop by and sign the guest book and take a look at the rest of their site. Here's Once Over with their tracks Losing Faith off the self-titled debut and Long for Summer off their new Now This Is Forever EP. Here's Once Over for the place where you hear cutting-edge new music first, WXUT 88.3.
Soulful trips that close me in, cold static and mass confusion. I need a vacation from this cold place where I lay.
We're back with Steve from OnceOver,
Hey.
and we got a few more questions for him.
I got a question. Nate Perriott, please report to the radio station. Thank you.
Okay. Well, Nate, the guitar player, will be up in here in a few minutes.
Hopefully.
So you guys have any plans to go out of town more often, and if so, where?
Actually, we just we're actually going on a summer tour New Moon is gonna help us sponsor us because we just got a sponsor from our favorite clothing company, New Moon, newmoon.com, or no, newmoon.net. They have like some of the best clothes, and we decided to go out on a tour this summer for like a couple weeks, I think 3 weeks or something like that, and they're gonna help sponsor it. So it's called the Long for Summer Tour, and sponsored by New Moon. We're going New York, CBGB's, down to Baltimore, down to Savannah, Georgia, Atlanta, Georgia, and then we're doing about 5 dates in Florida, including Miami, Orlando. We're just doing the entire East Coast and then coming back up, wasting all our money, but having really fun doing it. So, but yeah, we're definitely gonna start playing a little bit more out of town because we need to start concentrating on that. So yeah, definitely.
What are some of your favorite venues around here, in the region to play and perform at, and in general just cause chaos at?
Well, there's two different styles. I mean, Frankie's is, I think, the band's favorite place to play for fan response because, I mean, the people are up in your face. You can hear them. You can talk to them. You can slap their hands. I mean, it's a really fun, intimate place to play. But if you want to hear, you have a huge concert and stuff, I definitely have to say Headliners. I mean, we played there last week with Lollipop, Luskill. And I mean, that place is fun to play because the sound system is just great. And the people who run it are just good people. And so I definitely have to say Frankie's and Headliners, which it used to be the Hard Hat Cafe.
What have been some of your most memorable experiences / memories as a band?
Oh, man.
Because I know there's a lot.
Yeah, well, we've had some good times. We've had some bad times. But I'd have to say one of the band's collective favorite times was getting Nate in the band. I mean, that kid just totally opened up our eyes and our ears and helped us write better songs. And he came in at the perfect time. I mean, like, each member of OnceOver isn't anything without the other. But most memorable times, our CD release, when we released our first CD, I mean, just to see that many people, really care. I mean, that's so great. And I'd have to say that the CD release party was great. A lot of recent stuff, actually, is really cool. Like, a memorable time was when we got sponsored by New Moon. I mean, we flipped out because they're like our favorite clothing company. And when we did that deal, that was awesome. And I mean, it's just new things just keep piling up. And I don't know, man. It's awesome.
And in your opinion, what other bands should people be checking out locally and nationally from any style of music?
Well, one of my personal favorite bands is 6 Times Stone. I'm actually recording them right now, but I think they have a huge amount of potential for Toledo. They're one of my favorite local bands. One of my other favorite smaller national bands is 40 Below Summer. I think they share the same kind of style as OnceOver does, and I personally think they're one of the greatest bands around. So yeah, I think also Glinda's Bubble. They rock. Toledo is lucky to have that kind of band in Toledo.
Now we're going to get into a few tunes by bands you may or may not have heard of. First up, we're going to have Coheed and Cambria with their track Delirium Trigger. They'll be in town with The Used on April 15th at Headliners, which is formerly the Hard Hat Cafe. Following them will be a little-known band, but they're awesome, called Brazil, with their track Monolithic. They'll be in town coming up this week, March 5th, which is Wednesday at Howard's in Bowling Green. Make sure to check out these bands live. Here are Coheed and Cambria, and after them, Brazil, only on WXUT 88.3. Okay, we're back with OnceOver in the studio, and Dave has joined us.
Howdy.
The lead singer. I just want to say, if any of you guys are interested in some OnceOver swag, come down to the studio real quick, pick up a free CD or something like that if you want.
Say hi to us and whatnot. So, go for it, sir.
Keep going.
Oh, I was just going to say, if anyone was at the show last night and want to say how bad we sucked or whatever, you can definitely call up and,
And yell at us.
Exactly. I'd like to hear it.
Dave already said, we love our fans. Because we do, because they were awesome.
They are
last
the
night.
best, definitely.
Okay, how long have the respective members of the Double O been playing their respective instruments?
Well, respectively, Sean, we've, I don't know, well, basically as soon as we switched over from Half Empty, we've been sticking with the same instruments. It's been the same lineup that, from day one. We've been playing our respective instruments basically forever, but with Half Empty it was kind of weird because it was all, our fantasies like, oh, I want to play bass, or, I want to sing, and it was basically Half Empty was just, throwing together a band at the last minute, and with OnceOver, we played the instruments that we were supposed to be playing all along.
Yeah, but the cool thing is, like, we all are, like, multi-talented at different things. Like, Dave plays, like, didgeridoo, guitar, bagpipes, flute. Like, he's, like, an amazing vocalist. My brother plays, viola, which we actually feature him on a couple of tracks.
Yeah.
And like, I play guitar and bass, and Nate plays drums and bass and guitar, and we all play, like, lots of just different instruments, and it's really cool.
Definitely.
So speaking of the instruments you choose, what instruments, what instrument makers help you form the distinctive OnceOver sound?
That's kind of tough.
Can you repeat the question?
Yeah.
Sure, no problem. What instrument makers help you form the distinctive OnceOver sound?
Instrument makers. I would have to say our guitar players are in love with Brian Moore, and those
Definitely.
things scream. And
It's a nice full-bodied sound. I mean, not to, like, totally plug a thing, but it's definitely, like, it just fits the sound we were going for,
DW, I play DW drums, and that's something that I will never change ever in my entire lifetime. Those things are amazing. And Nick is a huge fan of Ibanez, man. He loves Ibanez, and Dave likes sure vocal mics.
SM58, baby.
Rock.
A workhorse, both in the studio and on the stage.
So do you guys that are, kind of moving up the ranks have any advice for the up-and-coming bands in town?
Just definitely stick with it. I
Yeah.
mean, when things are looking dire and you think you're getting, screwed over left and right, the fact is you're really not. I mean, just as long as you stick with it, somebody's gonna dig it, and if it's only for that one person will tell one other person, and by default you'll have a bunch of people show up eventually. So
I'd also like to say, you got to get your personal differences and all that stuff out of the question. I mean, you got to just be best friends. And one of the main things that we have, which I'd like to say, that keeps us successful and keeps the ball running, is like we have excellent management. I mean, you got to get someone who's crazy about your stuff, doing the right things, and completely professional about it. And I think that owes at least 50% to where we are right now. So that's my advice, at least.
Well, I know I've been playing some of the heavier stuff from the music spectrum, so now it's time to settle into a little groove. First up, we have the Avalanches with their cut Frontier Psychiatrist, and then the track High Noon from DJ Shadow. Followed up, then I'm going to play you a cut from Wes Claypool's Fearless Flying Frog Brigade, Whamala, followed by a jazzy track by Groover's Malt entitled The Break-In. Enjoy and use only as directed, and please only call me when I'm not introducing songs and or playing stuff. So, see you in a second.